What's up, you guys? I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry about that, but me and Crycidion were kind of on vacation. But I hope you guys, I know it's kind of late to say this, but I hope you guys had a great Christmas and a happy New Year's. I know we're halfway through January, and I did have Crycidion post a video for you guys. I've kind of been sick, so forgive my voice if it's a little stuffy. I'm kind of still kind of getting over the flu, but today I'm gonna be bringing you guys my Utopia deck profile. So let's get right into the deck profile. And by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, this is the Astral Language Utopia. I think this is in like 25 Century Secret Rare. I'm not sure, but this isn't the American version or the TCG version. It is actually the, if you guys can see right there, it's actually the Japanese version, which was actually way cheaper to buy. But it's a nice card to have in your collection. Just look at how beautiful that is, and especially with the oh shoot, I don't want to damage the card. Especially with that number, I believe that says number, and this would say 39 Utopia, King of Wishes or something. So okay, let's get right into the deck profile. And by the way, check out these cool card sleeves that I got. These are basically Yuma in ZeXaL Morph 2 or ZeXaL Morph 2, if you prefer the sub. Oh, and by the way, the thumbnail I'm gonna be using for this video, I did not draw it. I'm gonna link the actual artist in the description below, so please follow them, give them your support, and don't forget to comment, like, and share this video. So okay, let's get right into it. So one of the most important cards in this deck are your ZeXaL weapons. So you're gonna be running one ZeXaL weapon, Tornado Bringer. Basically, its effect is if the it boosts your Utopia by 1,300 attack points. It protects it from being targeted by your opponent's card effects, and if Utopia would ever be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. The next card would be ZeXaL weapon, Lightning Blade. So this card basically boosts Utopia by 1,200 attack points. It prevents it from being destroyed by card effects, and if Utopia would ever be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. And then Twin Savers is basically one of the key cards in the combo. Basically, equips the Utopia, gives it 1,000 attack, just like all the other ZeXaL weapons. Basically, once per turn, while it's equipped to a monster, you can negate a monster's effect from activating on the field. So basically, this helps negate your opponent's monsters, which is amazing. And then next up, you're going to be running three Zubababa Banchos, Gaga coats. So basically, if you control Gaga or Zubababa monster, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can also target one Go-Go Dojo monster in graveyard, special summon it. And basically, this guy is basically an extender in your deck. Next up, you're going to be running, this is actually one of the key cards in the deck, Utopia Onomatopoeia. So basically, this card is treated as a Zubababa, Gaga, Go-Go, or Dodo card. And then during your main phase, if you special summon this card, you can special summon basically you can special summon the coat or the gloves from your hand, and you guys will see what the glove card is in a second. So you can basically normal summon him and then bring out the other two monsters directly from your hand. And next up, we have three of actually, I think this is ZeXaL Spirit or ZeXaL Servant. I think that's what the ZS stands for, but I think it's actually Servant. So we have three ZeXaL Servant, Ascended Sage. So basically, you want to draw this in your opening hand. So basically, you special summon this card out. He special summons himself out. So he's an inherent special summon. And then his key effect right here is when he's Z summon, you can add one of the rank up magic spell cards from your deck to your hand. So basically, off his effect, you're mainly going to be trying to add this card, Hyper rank up magic Utopia Force. And next up, you're only going to be running one of this card because this card is literally a brick in the deck. Let me see if I can dust off the card so it looks a little more. Actually, I think that might be a little damaging on the card, but it's okay. So you're going to be running only one copy of this card in the deck because it's actually like a brick. So ZeXaL Serpent, Armored Sage, and yes, that is a little damaging on the card. Sorry about that. So basically its effect is when this card is used for an Xyz summon, you can add a ZeXaL weapon from your deck to your hand. And basically off his effect, you're mainly going to be wanting to add the Lightning Blade or the Tornado Bringer to your hand. Not the Twin Sabers. The Twin Sabers, you want to do that through through your rank up magic. Next up, this is the other card in that key combo with Onomatopoeia and Coat. So this would be your glove. So basically during your main phase, if you control a Zubaba or Gaga monster, so basically you can special summon this card from your hand if you control a Zubaba or Gaga monster. If this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon him out. So it's just basically another extender. But I like to run 2 of him with 3 of the coats, because you mainly don't want to see this card coming up. You mainly want to utilize it for its graveyard ability. Next up, you're going to be running... Let's see the card. You're going to be running 3 Astral Utopias. So basically what this card does is if you control an Xyz monster, you can special summon him out. So another extender. And then basically you're going to discard 1 card, and you can basically add 1 ZeXaL card. Or one Xyz card, 1 ZeXaL card, yes, and 1 Onomata card, or a number, spell, and trap card from your deck to your hand. So basically, he helps you search in the deck, helps you dump what you need, and helps you special summon. But you mainly don't want to be discarding this deck. That's why in this deck, you do not want to run, what's it called? Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet is the worst card to run in this deck, in my opinion. And basically, if you guys aren't planning to play a competitive version of this deck, or want to play something more budget friendly, I'll show you some cards that you guys can run if you guys want this deck to be a little bit more budget friendly to play. And the last monster we're running in the deck is Astral Karibo. So basically, if you control a number monster, you can reveal this card in your hand. This card's level is going to change to match the rank of that monster. So if it's a rank 4, it will become a level 4. And basically, the monster that you use, if you use this guy in an Xyz summon, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. This card rarely comes up, but is very useful. So, but you only want to run 1 of him. You never want to see him. So basically, yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get straight into the spell cards. So basically, this deck is like most combo decks. It's mainly very heavy spell card based. But I don't like to run too many spell cards. I mainly like to have more monsters than I do spells and traps. Because I feel like people that make those deck profiles that they have like 9 monsters and the rest is spells and traps, I feel like that's the worst way to play the deck. Because like then it becomes so bricky, because like you have a higher chance of drawing a hand that's just a complete hand of spell cards. And that's not what you want. You need monsters to basically facilitate your plays. So next, we're going to be running 3 of the Searcher card in the deck, Onomatopoeia. So basically, you send a card from your hand, then you can add 2 cards from your deck to your hand, and they either have to be Zubaba, Gaga, Go-Go-Go, or Do-Do-Do. Okay? And then we're going to be running 2 Onomato pickups. So basically, when this card is activated, it lets you add this card to your hand, so it lets you dig deeper into your deck, thin out your deck more. So basically, this deck is very combo heavy. It has a lot of search ability, but sadly, it doesn't have that much of a recovery play. So once you set up your board, you pray really hard that your opponent cannot break the board. Otherwise, you will be losing the game. Like I said, this is mainly a rogue deck. I personally like to play more rogue decks and more fun decks. While Chrysidion, he likes to play more competitive decks. So, okay, next up, you're going to be running 1 ZeXaL Entrust. This is basically the monster reborn in your deck. So basically, it lets you target a Utopia, ZeXaL weapon, or ZeXaL server in your graveyard, add it to your hand, or special summon it. And if your life points are higher than your opponent's, basically, when this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, and you can target a ZeXaL spell and trap card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. So basically, this recurs your spells and traps if your life points are higher. And then you mainly want to be using this for its monster reborn effect, though. So you only run 1 of that in the deck. Next up is your Double or Nothing. You only run 1 copy of this card in your deck. You never actually use this card. You will rarely ever use it, like maybe once out of every 20 games. But like, this card is mainly here to basically thin out your deck and to get the effect of Utopia double off. And basically be used as discard fodder. Okay, this is my personal tech choice in the deck. You don't have to run it. You could probably replace this card with a hand trap or yeah, you can replace it with a hand trap or like a ZeXaL import if you know you're going up against an Xyz heavy deck that your opponent is playing. My personal choice is the Shining Draw. And the reason I'm choosing to run Shining Draw as my tech choice is because we are going to be running ZeXaL Field in the deck. So basically, ZeXaL Field, during your next turn, instead of conducting a normal draw phase, you can place this Shining Draw on the top of your deck, draw it, and since you drew it for your normal draw, this card gains its effect. So basically, you can if all three of these cards are still in your deck, you can attach all three of this to your Utopia Leo Ray and basically boost its attack by 1,300 plus 1,200 plus 1,000. So basically, see, that's 2,500, 3,500 attack points. Or if you messed up your play and you didn't equip this by the ultimate, by the Utopia Force rank up magic spell, basically this helps facilitate that play and basically puts you in a better position. And then ZeXaL Field, it basically protects all your Xyz plays. Basically, right here, let me see if I can find it. If an Xyz monster is special summoned to the field, except during damage step, you can target one of those monsters, attach one Xyz material from your extra deck to that monster's material. This basically helps facilitate your Chaos number 65 Overfiend play, which is a really good card, because that card is basically like a skill drain on legs. But basically right here, your opponent cannot activate cards or effect in response to your activation of cards or effects that target an Xyz monster you control. So this protects your Xyz monsters. So okay, next up we have one Xyz Change Tactics. This is basically the card that you pay 500 life points every time you summon a Utopia monster. It has to have Utopia in the name. You get to draw one card. So basically, this is your draw engine of the deck. You can always, like I said, cut out the Shining Draw if you feel like it's not coming up and if you don't want to run it. And you can add another Xyz Change, or you could run, sadly, I don't have an Xyz import in the deck at the moment. But basically, you can go ahead and do that. Next up is you're going to be running 2 ZeXaL Constructions. Basically, ZeXaL Construction, you reveal a card in your hand, and then you can add one of the following cards to your hand. So either a ZeXaL Weapon, a ZeXaL Servant, a ZeXaL Spell, a Rum card, which is basically a rank up magic, that's short for that, or a rank down magic spell. So basically, you don't care about the last effect. You mainly care about adding either rank up or ZeXaL Spell, which basically helps you basically get access to most of your plays. Next up, we're running the one Hyper Rank Up Magic Utopia Force. So basically what this card does is he helps you rank up your number 39 Utopia or Chaos Utopia Ray to summon number 99 Utopia Dragner. And Dragner basically helps you cheat out a bunch of number monsters out of the deck. So that way you can basically get like some crazy plays like summoning out number 100 Numeron Dragon, number 38 Titanic Galaxy, or the Overfiend play. Next up, these are basically the only... I'm only running like maybe 3 hand traps are basically spell cards. So the first 2 I'm running are Triple Tactics Talents. This card is good because this deck needs as much draw power as you can get. So basically, if your opponent activates an effect during your main phase, you can basically either draw 2 cards, or if they manage to bring out a monster, you can take control of it, or you can look at your opponent's hand and basically rip a card out of their hand. So basically, this has really good effects, but I know this is still an expensive card. So if you can't afford to use these, if you can't afford those cards, I would highly suggest running Memories of Hope, which is in my side deck. Because you could either do 1 Triple Tactics and 1 Memories of Hope. The reason I like to sometimes run this card, but it's not mainly if you want a more competitive version of the deck. Well, a competitive rogue deck can only go so far, but basically, if you manage to set up your board without your opponent interrupting you, you drop this card and basically replenish your hand, because you'll basically have 4 different number monsters with 4 different names, and so basically this will let you draw 4 cards. And next up, we're running one Rhoda, which is basically reinforcements of the army. So basically, this card, you drop it down and you get to add one level 4 or warrior monster from your deck. So basically, through this card, you mainly want to be adding the Astral Utopia or the Sage, or where is it? Or the the Armored. I think he's stuck somewhere. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Or Armored Saged. But you basically want to run this card to basically have more consistency into your deck. He's basically to help you add any warrior monster you were missing in your opening hand. So that basically concludes the spell cards. Now we're going to go into the trap card portion of the deck. Oh, wait, I forgot one more trap card. You're also going to be running Call the Grave to basically stop your opponent's hand traps. So basically, you're going to be running 4 hand traps. There are spell cards. Your main deck is mainly extenders that can bring themselves out. And then in your trap cards, you're going to only be running 2 infinite and permanents. So basically, this is a good card to have in your opening hand. So basically, you guys, I basically think everyone knows what an infinite permanent does. You basically drop it down, negate an effect, or you can set it and negate all the cards that are in one column. So basically, you can either run 2 of this, or you can drop the numbers protection and run 3 of these. But I personally like to run a 2-to-1 ratio. So I run 2 numbers, 2 infinite permanents, and then 1 numbers protection, because basically when you activate this card, you can actually set it back in your spell and trap card zone and get a second use out of it. So basically, what this card does, it protects your number monsters, it negates their destruction or something like that. It's just an overall good protection card. So basically, that's basically rounds out the main deck. So now let's head on to the extra deck. So in the extra deck, you're going to be running one number 100 Numeron Dragon. This is basically, if you are in a very bad situation, you're going to want to bring this guy out. And then basically, he'll gain 1,000 attack points for every rank on the field. And then basically, you're going to ram into your opponent with this and go for game. This is the guy, your last resort card. You summon him out. His attack points are going to go like sky high. And it's going to be like 10,000 or something. Attack directly, attack an opponent's monster, and just go for game. This is like your card that you try to use to get out of any situation if you need a push for game. And then this is basically the key card of the deck, Utopia Dragner. Basically, when you summon him out, you detach 2 existing materials, and it lets you summon Numeron Dragon or any other number monster from your deck, basically cheating them out, and basically just helps facilitate advantage. And I think it has a negation effect. Let me check. Yeah, basically, when a opponent's monster declares an attack, you can change that attack to that opponent. So basically, you target an opponent's monster that declares an attack, you can change its attack to 0. So this basically helps negate an attack. Okay, next up on the deck, we're going to be running one number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Basically, this card, you want to use Dragner's effect, special summon him out during your opponent's turn in defense position, and then you basically use its effect to negate your opponent's spell card by basically you'll take your opponent's spell card and attach it to this card as an overlay unit. So basically, more negation, and also if your opponent tries to declare an attack, basically redirects any attack to this card, I believe. It's either this card or Dragner that does that, but I guess you guys know some of these cards' effects by now. And next up, we have Utopia the Lightning, which is another good Utopia card to run into. Like, if you can't go for Numeron Dragon, you go into this card. So basically, you detach 2 these materials, ram into your opponent. This card's attack gets doubled, and it helps you go for game. Next up is another one of the boss monsters in the deck, Ultimate Leo Ray. So basically, you're going to want to use Utopic Force to equip it to this card, detach it so you can equip Twin Saber to this card. So then you have another negation on the field along with his own negation effect, which is basically, let's see. This effect cannot be activated. Oh, there we go. You can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect, and if you do, half its attack points. So basically, this is another negation. Next up, we have Utopia doubles. The only reason you're running this card into your deck is to thin out your deck and basically get more overlay units on Utopia Dragner. And basically, he helps you go into Utopia, thin out your deck, and helps you get another draw off Xyz Change Tactics. Next up, you're going to be running the one Utopia Ray. You don't have to run this card. You can switch it out for Utopia number Spirit 39. Shining Utopia, I think it's what it's called. Oh, or you could run this. I like to run this because I like the original art for this. And especially since we're running the Leo version, basically ranking this up into that basically just looks way better in my opinion. But it doesn't have to be this card. It can be any of the Chaos number 39s as long as it's a rank 4. Then you're going to be running 2 number 39 Utopias. Basically, it's not a Utopia deck without Utopia in it. So basically, you run 2. So basically, if you run out of one Utopia, you still have a backup one. And basically, I like to run the 2 alternate arts because they always keep track of which one you're using. And we have the alternate art here and the original art in Astral language. So basically, Utopia is self-explanatory. Next up, we're running ZeXaL Servant, Utopic Sage. Basically, its effect is to detach 2 Xyz material out of ZeXaL Weapon or ZeXaL Servant from your deck to your hand. And that's mainly what you're going to be using its effect for. But it does have a secondary effect. Let me check what it says. Let's see. Once a return, if a Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster you control's original attribute is light would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard instead. So basically, it adds a little of protection effect, but it rarely comes up. But I guess it is kind of useful. Next up, you're going to be running Prime Mathmech Albrion. I really can't pronounce this name. I know it's a Utopia deck, but the only reason you run this card is basically for its second effect, which is you detach 3 Xyz materials out of level 4 monster from your deck to your hand. That's the key effect on this card. And plus, you're going to be using it as fodder to overlay into Utopic Future. Next up is your number 65 Djinn Buster. Basically, you're only running him for the ZeXaL Field Dragner combo. And then the number C39 King Overfiend. So basically, if this guy has this card as an overlay unit underneath it, so basically like that, effects your opponent controls cannot activate their effect. So basically, a skill drain on legs. So basically, you bring him out, you ZeXaL Field, attach this as an overlay unit, and basically, you have a skill drain right there. So basically, that is actually a really amazing play that this deck can do. Lastly, you're going to be running Future number 0, Utopic Future. And that's why you're running, that's actually why you're running the Albrion and Utopic Sage. You basically overlay these 2 monsters over each other to basically slap down the Utopic Future. And then on top of Utopic Future, you're going to rank him up into Draco Future. So basically, this is more negation on the board. And basically just, overall, this deck can put up like a very crazy board. But again, if your opponent can manage to break your board, then you're basically, you have no recovery plays. And you basically might just end up losing the game. So right now, I'm going to show you a test hand that I actually kind of have to go through my little notebook over here. Because it's kind of complicated. But it's really crazy if you can actually pull it off. So let me just see if I can fold this notebook while I'm struggling out here to the side. Okay. So I'm just going to put my extra deck over here so you guys can see. Oh, hold on. Let me just organize the extra deck. So here's the extra deck. And next up, in this hand, you basically just want to have one glove, one onomatopoeia, and then one coat, and then just any 2 random cards in your hand. So basically, what you're going to be doing first in the combo is you're going to normal summon the onomatopoeia, and then basically you get to special summon these guys out of your hand for free. And then you're going to overlay coats and then onomatopoeia. to basically XZ summon into Utopia Sage. Then you're gonna deattach the materials from Utopia Sage, so that's basically the graveyard there. Deattach 2 XZ materials. Then you're gonna add, let's see, you're gonna add Ascended Sage from your deck to your hand. So Ascended Sage. So basically you're gonna special summon Ascended Sage to the field. And then after that, you're gonna, let's see. Then you're gonna use Coat's Effect. Oh wait, actually you send Glove to the field. You use Coat's Effect to bring back Onomatopoeia. Then you use the effect of Gloves to special summon himself back. Okay, then you're gonna overlay, I believe you're gonna overlay, let's see here. You're gonna overlay Coat, Glove, and Onomatopoeia to basically summon out the Prime Math Mech. Then you're gonna deattach all 3 Xyz materials from this card to basically bring out, where is it? You're gonna add basically Astral Utopia to your hand. So you added this to hand. So right now our hand is this card plus 2 random cards in our hand. And then after that, you're gonna see, you're gonna special summon Astral Utopia. Then you're gonna discard 1 card from your hand. Doesn't matter what card you discard from your hand. And then you're gonna add, you can either add Xyz Change Tactics, or you can add ZeXaL Field. If you do ZeXaL Field, you're gonna go for the King Overfiend play, but in this time we're gonna add Xyz Change Tactics. So basically, oh sorry, tipped over the camera. Let me just adjust the camera for a second. Okay, so you're gonna add Xyz Change Tactics to your hand by discarding a card, and then you're gonna overlay Prime Math Mech and Utopia Sage to summon out Utopia Future, then slap Draco Future on top of it, so you have some negation on board. So I'm just gonna push them to the side. So these are, you have 3 monsters on field. That's your graveyard over there. Your deck's over here. Next up, you're gonna be basically dropping down the Xyz Change Tactics. You're gonna overlay these 2 cards into Utopia Double. And so basically, you activate a Chain Link, which is basically you're gonna do Chain Link 1, Utopia Double, Chain Link 2, ZeXaL Sage, Chain Link 3, Xyz Change Tactics. So basically, right now you only have 1 card in hand, Xyz Change Tactics, pay 500, draw an extra card, and then he'll let you add Utopia Force from your deck to your hand. So you add this to your deck to your hand. I believe does it detach an Xyz material? Let me check. Yeah, basically you detach an Xyz material, doesn't matter which one it is, and then you basically get to add Double or Nothing to your hand for discard Father. Then you basically rank this guy up into 39 Utopia. Then the effect, its attack gets doubled, so it's now at 5,000. Xyz Change Tactics activates again. You get to draw 1 extra card. So now basically in your hand you have 3 extra cards, and then the hyper rank up and Double or Nothing. Then you're gonna rank up again into Chaos 39 Utopia Ray. Activate Xyz Change Tactics again. You're gonna get to draw 1 more extra card. Then you're gonna activate the hyper rank up magic to basically use this card to summon out Utopia Dragner, activate tactics again, draw an extra card. Then you're going to deattach 2 materials from Dragner to special summon out Ultimate Leo. And then you're going to activate the effect of the hyper rank up from the graveyard to attach itself to Leo as an overlay unit. You're going to deattach the overlay unit. And then you get to equip where is it? It's Twin Saber, I believe. Let's see. You get to equip Pegasus Twin Saber. So basically you have 1 negation, 2 negations, kind of a negation. Then after this, you basically pass turn to your opponent. And then you're going to deattach 2 overlay units again from Dragner. So basically deattach its last 2 overlay units. You're going to special summon out Hope Harbinger. And then you're going to activate the hyper rank up and then equip it to Hope Harbinger. And then basically now you have basically almost like 5 negations on board. And then out of the cards you drew off of Exchange Tactics, you have basically 5 extra cards in your hand to play with. And then that 1 double or nothing that you can discard for anything. And then basically I didn't shuffle the deck, but these 5 cards could be your hand traps or anything to help stop your opponents. So now we're gonna take this basically this field, and we're gonna switch it up to basically show you at what point did this combo change. So let me just reset everything for a bit. So okay, we're gonna put this guy back, put these cards back. So the only difference that you're gonna be doing in this second round is you're still gonna end on the Draco Future. You're still gonna have the Utopia Dragner. You're still gonna have the Ultimate Leo. You're still gonna have it equipped with the Twin Saber. But where this changes is instead of adding the Exchange Tactics, you're gonna be going ahead and do your ZeXaL field. So you're gonna have ZeXaL field as your field play spell card. And when you pass, instead of going into number Titanic Galaxy, you're going to be going into your Overfiend play, which is basically you're going to special summon him through Dragner by detaching your last 2 overlay units. You're doing this on your opponent's turn, by the way. So deattach 2 materials, special summon Dragner. He's going to activate his effect. You're going to take Gin Buster, equip it here, and then Ultimate, and then the Hyper Rank Up spell card is going to basically equip itself to... Let's see here. If I can find the spell card somewhere in the deck. Let's see, where's it at? Here we go. And you basically equip this to here because you have to. And then basically you have a skill drain, negation. And then if you survive your opponent's turn, which is highly likely because you have negation, you have a skill drain, you're basically going to activate the effect of ZeXaL Field to basically place your Shining Draw on top of your deck. You draw the Shining Draw for your normal draw, activate it, and then you basically get to take your last 2 ZeXaL weapons, which is ZeXaL Weapon Lightning Blade and Tornado Bringer, and then equip it to Ultimate Leo to basically boost its attack to like crazy heights and basically just go off from there. So basically, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I know it might have been a little too long, but I really wanted to go over these cool combos that you could do with the deck. And if you guys want to see me do a Elemental Hero deck profile, well, it's not an Elemental Hero deck profile, it's more like a combination of all the hero monsters, let me know, and I'll get right to work with it, and hopefully I can script it out better. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll make sure to come out with some new videos coming up this February. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend or enjoy what day it is, and I'll catch you guys later.